Jake Paul's worst nightmare is here with bad news for him, and the YouTuber turned boxer is trembling in his boots. Hear me out. Jake just had his highly anticipated fight with the bare-knuckle brawler, Mike Perry, on July 20th, and boy, did he come
like
through.
and subscribe, guys.
The problem child picked up a 6th-round KO win after dropping Perry to the canvas thrice before finally putting him to sleep. But the gist isn't over, as Jake's real challenge is waiting for him right around the corner. You guessed it right. The athlete is set to step into the ring with Mike Tyson on November 15th, 2024, and with his bout with Mike Perry out of the way, this matchup just got more real. But there's another story to this, because Tyson has just dropped the bombshell on Jake, and let's just say it's full of bad news for the guy. So what exactly did Iron Mike say that has Jake all fired up? So Jake Paul just secured a knockout victory against Mike Perry in Tampa, Florida. And while he was expecting a pat on the back by boxing pros and pundits, this guy got quite the opposite. Get this. The boxing community doesn't give two hoots about Jake's fight with Perry, as they believe it was just a warm-up for the real channel. Or, as Jake likes to put it, Perry was an appetizer. The main event is still to come. November 15th, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Can you believe it? The YouTuber turned boxer is about to step into the ring with the freaking Iron Mike. Now, there are two ways to look at this upcoming matchup. It's either the biggest fight of Jake's career or his worst nightmare. And the problem child's recent showdown with Perry tells us it might just be the latter. Let's get real for a second. Fighting Mike Tyson is no joke. We're talking about a guy who redefined what it means to be a heavyweight champion. Even the best boxers in the world would have nightmares about facing him in his prime. So for a guy like Jake Paul, who's basically a baby in boxing terms, this is like stepping into a lion's den. Jake's got heart, no doubt. He's proven that. But let's be honest, he hasn't fought a real seasoned pro yet. His opponents have been a mix of other YouTubers and retired MMA fighters. Tyson, on the other hand, is a different animal entirely. He's been in the ring since he was a kid. This is his life. When you break it down, it's a mismatch. On one side, you've got Mike Tyson, a boxing legend, with decades of experience and a knockout record that's off the charts. On the other side, you've got Jake Paul, a guy who's been boxing for a few years. It's like comparing a Ferrari to a go-kart. Let's not forget, this is the same guy who bit off a piece of Evander Holyfield's ear. Tyson is a savage in the ring. Jake better be prepared for anything. Let's talk about Jake Paul's strategy, shall we? He's been pretty smart about picking his opponents, hasn't he? I mean, Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, even Anderson Silva. They're all names, but let's be real, they're not exactly primetime boxers. Sure, Woodley and Silva had some MMA chops, but they were well past their prime. It's like picking on someone half your size. The only real boxer he's faced is Tommy Fury, and we all saw how that went down. Tommy handed him his butt on a silver platter. It was a wake-up call, but I'm not sure Jake learned his lesson. Now he's facing Mike Tyson. It's like going from playing in the Little League to the World Series overnight. Jake's been building this whole boxing superstar image by carefully selecting opponents. He's been good at creating this illusion of invincibility. But let's be honest, Mike Tyson is a whole different ballgame. This is where the facade cracks, and we'll see the real Jake Paul. Now, don't get me wrong, I know Iron Mike is pushing his 60s. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Mike Tyson is 58 years old. That's old to be stepping into a boxing ring, no doubt about it. But here's the crazy thing. This guy is not your average 58-year-old. He's been training like a madman, and the videos don't lie. Tyson's still got that explosive power, that uncanny ability to generate incredible force with every punch. His speed might be a bit slower, but his timing and accuracy are still top-notch. He's a master of head movement, slipping punches, and countering with devastating effect. His defensive skills, combined with that raw power, make him a nightmare for any opponent. And let's not forget about his fight IQ. Decades of experience in the ring have given him an unmatched understanding of the sweet science. He can read opponents like a book, anticipate their moves, and exploit their weaknesses. Jake Paul is going to be facing a boxing genius, a guy who's been there, done that, and knocked out everyone in his path. This isn't just a fight, it's a master class in boxing. Plus, this guy has made the promise to end Jake's fragile career in the ring. Mike Tyson is not just fighting Jake Paul. He's on a mission to destroy him. This isn't personal, or at least it shouldn't be. But Tyson sees Jake Paul as the poster boy for everything wrong with boxing today. We're boxing into a circus act. Matchups that make no sense. Fights driven by hype, not skill. It's a slap in the face to the true art of boxing. Tyson wants to set the record straight. This man is shouting from the rooftops, "I'll end you, kid." He wants to show the world that boxing is still about skill, heart, and respect. And he's chosen Jake Paul as the target. It's like he's made a personal oath to end Jake's boxing career. The social media threats, they're not just for show. Tyson means business. This is a guy who's been in the ring with some of the toughest fighters in history. He's faced down giants, both literally and figuratively. And now he's setting his sights on a YouTuber. It's terrifying. And it's exactly what makes this fight so compelling.
Mike TYSON, like and subscribe, guys.
Getting ready for you.
Now, we got to talk about Jake Paul's dirty little secret. The guy is a master of manipulation when it comes to these fights. He's all about bending the rules to his advantage. Remember that Mike Perry fight? Jake demanded they meet at a catch weight of 200 pounds, a weight class Perry had never fought at before. And what happened? Fight night rolls around, and Jake's walking around looking like a heavyweight, easily 220 pounds. Perry? He's barely making a 190. It was a total mismatch, and it showed in the ring. Perry was slow, sluggish, and couldn't keep up with Jake. This is a pattern with Jake. He's always trying to stack the deck in his favor. But guess what, Jake? You're about to meet your match. Mike Tyson is the original rule bender. He's seen it all, done it all. You think you can pull this weight class crap on him? Think again. Tyson's not playing your games. This fight is going to be on his terms, and there ain't no negotiating. So, Jake, pack your bags because you're about to get a reality check. Let's talk about experience real quick. Mike Tyson didn't just wake up one day and decide to be a boxing champ. This guy's been in the ring since he was a teenager. We're talking about decades of blood, sweat, and knockouts. He's fought the best of the best, from Larry Holmes to Evander Holyfield. Tyson has seen it all. He's mastered every punch, every block, every strategy. This isn't just about power. It's about ring IQ, about knowing exactly what to do in any situation. Jake Paul might have a few knockouts under his belt, but he's still a rookie compared to the Iron Mike. Tyson is the master of this game, and Jake is just a player trying to learn the rules. The problem child is sweating bullets right now. This ain't no joke. He's finally realized that he's in over his head. Tyson's calling the shots, and Jake's got no say in how this fight goes down. It's like he's been living in a fantasy world thinking he could manipulate his way to victory. But Tyson's a different beast. This is a guy who wrote the book on boxing. Jake's trying to play his usual mind games, throwing out cocky tweets and trash talk. But deep down, he knows he's terrified. Everyone's against him. The boxing world, the fans, and even some of his own supporters are doubting him. They all want to see Tyson knock his lights out. It's a lonely place to be. And let's be real. Jake only took this fight for the money and the fame. He thought it would be another easy payday, another notch on his belt. But now reality is setting in. This isn't a cash grab. It's a career-defining moment. One wrong move and it's all over. Jake Paul is in panic mode. He's realizing that this isn't a game anymore. Tyson is coming for him, and he's coming with everything he's got. The cocky YouTuber is about to get a reality check. He's trying to act tough, saying stuff like, "I'm going to teach Tyson a lesson." But we all know that's just for show. Deep down, he's probably having nightmares about that first punch. This fight is on thin ice, let's be real. Jake Paul has a history of pulling out of fights when things get tough. Remember when he was supposed to fight Tommy Fury? He came up with all sorts of excuses to avoid the fight. And now with Tyson, the stakes are even higher. If Jake starts feeling the pressure, don't be surprised if he pulls out, claiming Tyson is injured or something. He'll try to save face by blaming Tyson's health, but we all know the real reason: fear. This matchup is a disaster waiting to happen for Jake. The boxing world is waiting for him to crumble. And if he does pull out, it will be the final nail in his coffin. He'll be exposed as a fraud, a guy who talks a big game.
Mike TYSON, like and subscribe, guys. Again,
this is his
sorry.
chance to prove himself, to show that he's a real fighter.
So you feel it.
But if he chickens out, his boxing career is over. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out.
So have that like
there
and
you go, Fight
subscribe,
World.
guys.
That's all I have for you today.
Thank you
What
for
do
your
you think
time.
about Jake's worst nightmare finally being here?
Yeah, exactly.
Fill in